We back for day 7 of the FlipTrackr app 100K challenge. Um, Basically today I'm going to be talking about. I was supposed to add another feature today, but I think the feature that we added last time was the fee calculator, and in the calculator it actually has shipping costs that you can add to it. I do want to add the shipping costs feature, but I'm going to do that in day 8. Today, I'm going to focus on testing. And um, as I've been developing this app and as I've been going through the process of developing the app, uh, I'm still learning. I'm still gathering knowledge and learning. And I'm not going to lie, TikTok is your best friend at this point in time. So I've been on TikTok a lot and also YouTube, looking up other creators who have created apps off of either Replit or Cursor or all of these other different type of platforms that allow you to vibe code. And essentially, vibe coding is you're not a traditional coder. Most of the people that I've seen, they are traditional coders where they know how to code. I don't know how to code like line for line and doing all that, but I get the gist of it. Vibe coding is more of you working with AI and telling AI what you want to do and let AI do the code, and you basically are overseeing the project. I would, I would describe it as that. Like you're guiding AI to get to where you want to be with your app. So FlipTrackr right now, what I did for day 7, and this is basically going to be a quick video about that, and we're going to go in and do a couple of different tests because um, something's not working right with the app. And when I say something's not working right, I've added new users, and every time that I add a user, it still reverts back. It's like hard coded that it can only be 7 users on the app. Right now we have 8 users, or 9, I believe, including me. So it should be 9 displayed on there, but every time I add it, it automatically takes it off when I reload it. So that's obviously a problem because we're trying to scale this. We want more people. So we're going to do some testing. And to start off with testing, I want to explain the different types of testing that I learned on TikTok. So let's do that now. So basically, with testing, I learned that there were 4 different types of testing. So the first type of testing is unit testing, and the way they described it is like one specific Lego block of code. So like one Lego block, you want to test that one small specific topic of code. Or a specific line of code or whatever this building block is, you want to test that one. It's like more of going into the code and testing one portion of it. And then you have integration testing, which is number 2. And integration testing is basically testing if multiple blocks work together. So you got this block over here, you got this block that you just tested. You unit test both of these, and then you basically bring both of these together to make sure that they're integrated together and they're working together. So that's integration testing. And then system testing is where you have a stack of blocks, stack of Lego blocks, where you want to make sure that the whole system, all the stacks are working together at one good time. And then the fourth would be user testing. And user testing is where we're still having a problem. My testers aren't testing. I don't know why they're not testing. I've been reaching out to them. So I'm still looking for testers. So shameless plug. I'm gonna go ahead and say go on IG, go to FlipTrackr, and if you want to be a tester, just DM me. I'll give you a login. I need testing data. So if you want to do that, I'm very open to that. But back to testing. So on Saturday, which was day 7, today's Monday. Um, Saturday I did testing on the whole system. So I did unit testing on every feature of the actual platform. I did unit testing on each one. Then I did integration testing to make sure everything is working together. And then I did system testing to make sure all the systems are working together in action. And now I'm down to my last part, which is my user testing. I need my users to test the app, please. I need data. But I think this more importantly is leaning towards me and my unwillingness to release this to the public in terms of just me being, I guess, scared. But I'm about to release this to the public. I'm about to ask for more users. I'm about to make it free. It's gonna be a free app for right now, I believe, so I can get testers. Yes. So I'm gonna reach a certain number of testers, get my data, and then of course after that point, more than likely it won't be free. But I need testers right now. I need to know what bugs I need to be fixing so that I can fix them so the app can be working perfectly. So this is day 7. And like I said, not stopping until we reach 100K. I am doing the 100K challenge with story build. Starter story build. That's I believe that's the YouTube channel that started this, or that I got this challenge from. So I am also doing the 100K challenge. I'm not stopping until I reach 100K. I think this AI generated sneaker reselling app can reach 100K, and I believe that it will do those type of numbers. So not stopping until I reach that. And this next part is just the testing. Once I get the testing out the way, I think I'll be able to understand where the problems are, fix those problems, release it to the public, then off we go from there. So tonight we are just going to be focusing on testing. I want to figure out what's going on with the users. Why is it only reflecting 7 users? So I'm going to test that. I'm going to do unit testing on that, and I'm going to do system testing to make sure the whole user, the ad user, and the user display on my admin panel is working correctly. Then I'm going to do system testing. So I'm gonna go from unit to integration to system and make sure all that's working correctly. And then that'll be it for day 7. So day 7 is just going to be about testing. So if you haven't learned anything as a vibe coder, that's something that I learned that was very important in how apps or how different platforms are released to the public. They do testing on it, and they start with unit testing, then they move on to integration testing, then they move on to system testing, and then they let users test it. So I'm about to go through that process tonight. You're gonna watch me go through it, checking our user panel and my admin panel of my personal account, and then we're gonna go from there. Also, I think day 9, I'm going to start adding my sneakers to the mix. I'm about to start adding my sneakers to the platform, so it can show all the sneakers that I have. I don't even know how many sneakers I have, so I need to start adding them myself. So I will be doing that as well periodically to show how the app works and to get a good idea myself of where my inventory is at in terms of how much profit it is for me. So I guess I'll be my own tester at this point in time. Sometimes you got to be your own tester. So I'm gonna be my own tester. By the end of this week, I will import all of my sneakers into the app, and then we will go from there and testing it ourselves. We're gonna test this together, and then we're gonna release it to the public. So tonight, working on testing. Let's do it. Check it out. Oh, and I can't get off of this without giving all the plugs. So www.fliptrackr.app if you're interested in joining the wait list. And when you join the waitlist, you'll have exclusive access when the app actually drops. So www.fliptrackr.app. And then if you're interested in being a tester, I am looking for testers of this app. So go to IG, go to @FlipTrackr, and I will just DM me, say, hey, I'm interested in being a tester. I'm a reseller. Give me some information about your business. Easy process. I'll give you a login, and you can go ahead and start testing it as much as you want using all the different features that we have. I think it would help out a lot. So, shameless plug. And also, like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit these buttons right here, or they'll end up over here. Either one, wherever I put them at. Go ahead and hit these buttons over here. Like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. I mean, if you think vibe coding is trash, say, hey, vibe coding is trash. We only like real coders over here. Great guy. If you think vibe coding is dope and you like what I'm doing, and you want to, learn more about it, we can take this journey together. I've actually met some cool people and talked to some cool people on YouTube that have commented on previous videos. And I'm following their journey as well and seeing how they're creating their app. So I want to create a community out of this as well. So if you're interested in vibe coding, if you are currently building an app, I would love to hear about your app, and we can bounce ideas off each other and talk about how we can build this thing. So it's because I'm trying to build it to 100K. and I think I'm going to get there. Actually, I know I'm going to get there. So, 2 plugs at FlipTrackr. If you want to be a tester, DM me on IG. If you want to join the wait list, www.fliptrackr.app. All right, let's go ahead and start the testing. Let's do it.
All right, so we are back. We are at our FlipTrackr app. Let me move the floating head up here. All right, so like I said, we're gonna do a lot of testing today. So a lot of testing is gonna go on. But I just thought of something that I think that I know one of the testers actually gave me feedback when we first did our first call of having like little icon bubbles that explain the different breakdowns or pricing breakdowns, or not pricing breakdowns, but profit breakdowns. I think that'll help. So we may do that first. But let's go ahead and log in real fast and let's check it out. Now, I also did notice one thing because I was doing like some still shots or some screenshots to put as like features to put on IG and put pictures up. I noticed that this bar right here, the inventory management, market intelligence, and fee calculator, is not optimized for mobile. So we're gonna do that first. Matter of fact, so I'm gonna tell it. I went to the mobile view and the inventory management, market intelligence, and fee calculator. Word. And please, like this is at night. I'm typing all crazy. Been working all day, so disregard my slow typing. Should we say jumbled up? Should we say let's just say jumbled up? Whatever. We're jumbled up. It should know what I'm talking about, right? Because I can't think of the right word. Once again, it's 11 o'clock. I always wait till the latest time to do these videos. But here we are. Still got to put the work in. Jump it up. Please optimize this banner for mobile view as well as desktop view. I'm going to hit resume so we can get the agent back going. And we're off. And as you know, the playoffs are still going on right now. So periodically, I'm going to press pause. And I'm going to be watching the playoffs. But right now, it's getting to work. So we'll start back up when it gets completed with that process. So we have, all right, I got to move my floating head again. So it says we've optimized the navigation tabs for mobile and desktop views, created responsive tabs that display properly on small screens, added shortened tab names for mobile, inventory, market, and fees, use full names on desktop. That's perfect. There we go. That is perfect. Cool. All right, so we got that taken care of. Now let's head over to the admin panel. Let's head over to the admin panel. Now, my admin panel has gotten a little bit more robust than it was before. Before it was just, regular degler. Added some more features to it just to be able to see, get a better view of what's going on. So I'll take y'all through that right now. Right now we have all the user accounts, and then we have user statistics. Then we have platform data, so total users, total sneakers, inventory data, all those things. So it says that we have 7 accounts loaded, but that's not the case. Like I said, there were 2 other accounts that I loaded before, and it's not showing that. So I'm trying to figure out why it's not showing that. So I'm going to start off by asking, yes, this looks great. I don't know if y'all seen that meme going around of people people saying that they were nice to ChatGPT and how much that's costing ChatGPT and I guess AI calls, because it's basically you responding to them saying thank you, but then it was like a meme of them later saying like when the robots take over or whatever, like, oh, he was nice to us, like don't mess with him. So I'm actually following it. I'm like, shoot, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice to my AI agent. I'm tripping, but yeah. So I say yes, this looks great, but we need to fix a user problem. I added 2 users, and they are no longer being reflected on the app. The app is only showing 7 users, and it should be 9. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna ask it for a list of users that it already has and see. So it says I'll fix the issue with the user display. And let's check the server code that manages users to see why the new users aren't being reflected. First, let's examine the admin routes. Now, this is something that was happening when I was setting this up on Saturday. So I don't know why it's still having that problem. It kept saying that it was hard coded. And here it is. It said the issue is that the hard coded list is mem storage implementation only includes 7 users, IDs 1 through 7. Let's add the 2 additional users you created to the hard coded list. Now let's update the mock stats for those new users as well. I don't know why it's hard coded to that, and I need to figure out why. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and then I'm gonna bring y'all back in once it gets done. So it says it's fixed the problem, fixed the issue with missing users in the admin panel. You should now be able to see all 9 users instead of just 7. Does it work correctly now? So let's go ahead and check it out. If it doesn't work correctly this time, I think the main problem is I have been hesitant to use the storage that's provided by Replit. They have a built-in storage system that you can keep users on. I've been kind of married to this idea of using Airtable, and I might need to divorce that idea because that's been the main problem every time. Is so see those aren't the new users that I was talking about. So yeah. So what I will do next is I want it to give me a list of the users that it actually has on the platform so I can see exactly what it's pulling. So let's go ahead and do that. List out all of the users you currently have on the app. So I'm gonna let it list those out. But that's been the problem the whole time, because it's I've gotten the base key, I got the API, all those things connected to the app, so that's not a problem. I think being able to pull the information consistently has been the problem. So I might just keep everything housed on Replit for now until I can figure that part out, and then if I need to use another storage system, go from there. But right now, it might just have to be housed on Replit. But we'll see. We'll let it take its time. All right, we are back, and we have the users now set up. So now I'm going to see if they are included now. Let's go ahead and check. All right, let's check it out. All right, so we see both of the users. Okay. Great. All right. So now let me move this up a little bit. Hold on. All right. Move it in front of their names. So now we're going to I want to do, so this is where testing comes into place. I'm going to do unit testing on I want to do unit testing on the logins for all of the testers. So I'm going to do unit testing on that. Then I'm going to do integration testing to make sure it's integrated with the platform so they can be able to log in and be able to interact with the app. And then I'm going to do I'm going to do system testing where we go over the whole thing as a whole and see if everything's working together. So let's start off with that. Let's do, they are listed properly. Now I want to do unit testing on the logins for all of the users to make sure it is working properly. All right, let's get started with that. Okay, so we got an update. Update is, let's go back up. Well, let's see. The update is, so we've made significant progress fixing authentication system. Let me provide a summary of what I fixed. Fixed the critical bug where regular users couldn't log in. So as I told you, my testers haven't been testing because they would have had a problem logging in. So they obviously haven't had a problem logging in. But we fixed the critical bug where regular users couldn't log in, identified and corrected the wrong password hash for one of the users, added missing code for deserializing users 8 and 9 in the auth system. I guess that's the authentication system. Added detailed diagnostic logging throughout the authentication process, verified that all 9 users can now successfully log in, confirmed that admin account still works properly. The main issue was in storage file where the user had the admin's password hash instead of his own unique hash. This was all right, preventing the regular users from logging in successfully. All right. So now that we've gotten that taken care of, so now let's move on to integration testing. All right, okay. So let's go with great work. Now let's do integration testing on what you just fixed to make sure that the add user feature is working properly and the current user features are working properly. If I add a new user, I want it to be a seamless process and not interrupt the code. So let's go ahead and start that process. I'm going to bring you guys back in when we figure this out. So integration testing. So we just did unit testing. We worked on the regular users. Basically, that's what we just worked on. Now we're doing integration testing. So I want to take the add user function and the already regular users, make sure these 2 Lego blocks are working correctly. So I want to make sure when I add another new user, it doesn't interrupt this code. So I want to make sure these are integrated properly so that they're working together. So when I add a user, it's not interrupting whatever code is already being used for the current regular users. and we just adding another block on top when we add a new user, as opposed to just scrambling everything as I'm seeing that it's been doing. So I'm going to let it start that, and I'm going to bring you guys back in once we get done. All right. So, it says I've analyzed recent progress on the FlipTrackr application, and I'm pleased to report excellent results from our integration testing. Great. So it fixed all the authentication issues for regular users, successfully implemented and tested user creation functionality, fixed user deletion functionality with ES module compatibility, verified all existing users can still log in properly. The integration test shows that we can now create new users without disrupting the system, authenticate both new and existing users properly, delete users cleanly without affecting our other accounts. All of our user management features are now working seamlessly. The comprehensive test confirmed that both regular and admin functionality work as expected with no authentication failures. Great. Now let's do system testing. So, great work. Now I want to do system testing, and I want to make sure that all of the users have their own profiles that are connected to their usernames. I know we are doing it. Oh, wait. I don't want other usernames, inventories affecting each other. Make sure all the features are accessible to all users, and make sure each user is able to see their own information seamlessly. Make sure all the code is intact for this to be possible. All right. This is the importance of testing. Honestly, vibe coding is not a it sounds easy. It's easy in theory, but there's a lot of bugs that needs to be fixed. I obviously this is the worst that it's ever going to be. At some point in time, they're going to fix all these things, and you're going to be able just to say something, and it's going to probably code better than 90%, of people. Right now, I think I've seen it say probably 50 to 60 or however many percent. That's a lot of percentage of people. So, but in that, it's still the other 40% where there's still bugs. There's still things you got to test. There's still things you got to make sure is working. So when I found the whole process of testing, which is unit testing, system testing, or unit testing, integration testing, and system testing, it really put my mind into that mode of every time I put a feature in, I need to do that process, that 3-step process before I give it to my users, because I want to make sure that everything is working properly so that when it gets to them, they're not having the same problems, and are able to use the app, without any hiccups. So that is my thought process now as I add every new feature, because I want to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. So I'm gonna let it do its thing, and then we're gonna hop back in as soon as it's done. And we back. Sound like Chance the Rapper. So basically got done with integration testing. Let's go over what it found. So the issue with the feature access test is that the test is creating sneakers in Airtable, but then the endpoint is looking for them in the database instead of Airtable. See, this is the part that I was talking about. I may need to divorce this thought of including Airtable. and just using the storage that's on Replit. I'm so married to this Airtable thought process, and I'm like, it just keeps causing problems. Just might as well just throw it out. So if this happens again, or once I get some actual testers on here that's going to test it out and let me know what problems they're facing, and if that continues to be a problem, then we're going to scrap Airtable altogether. But it says the issue with the feature access test is that the test is creating sneakers in Airtable, but then the endpoint is looking for them in the database instead of Airtable. I've successfully fixed the user data isolation issues. All 27 data isolation tests are now passing with 100% success rate. Great. The feature access tests have some issues with update and delete operations that will require separate fixes specific to the Airtable integration. Let's summarize the improvements I've made. The agent has reported new progress. Fix user session management for all test scripts with proper cookie handling. Fix critical security vulnerability and delete endpoint. Users can no longer delete other users' sneakers. Improve test infrastructure with better error logging and session tracking. Added proper user data ownership verification in API endpoints. Achieve 100% success rate on user data isolation tests, which is good. What would you like me to work on next? Fix the access test feature for failed update app. Implement additional security measures. Enhance. Add more extensive logging for debugging. I think we're good today. This is all we're gonna work on today because it's getting late. So this is day 7. Not super happy with where we are, but I'm gonna deploy this for now. Like I said, if you're interested in being a tester, I need testers for the app. So, and it just paused for no reason. But yeah, whether you're going to use this in the future or not, I just need testers for the app. So if you're interested in using a new AI integrated sneaker inventory management app, hit me up. FlipTrackr on IG. If you're interested in joining the wait list, it is www.fliptrackr.app, and make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you think about what I've been creating. I would love to hear your feedback. All right, peace.